Passage is a storytelling game where you will follow a group of travelers on a journey. Who they are, where they're going, and whether or not they make it is for you to discover. The game is rules light, does not have a GM or require any prep, and can be played as a one-shot or over multiple sessions, in a group or on your own as a journaling game. Passage is genre agnostic, focused on world building, resource management, and role-playing. You can buy a physical copy of Passage or download the digital version at passagegame.com. To play, you will need 2 decks of standard playing cards with the jokers removed, 1 6-sided die, and possibly some writing supplies. You'll start the game by creating a premise for your story, giving a broad description of the travelers, the world that they're in, and what their goals are. You don't need to know every character in the group or every landmark in the world, as these elements will be given more detail as the game progresses. You can come up with a premise entirely on your own, or use the seed generator provided by the game. To use the seed generator, shuffle one of the decks of cards and draw 3 cards. The first card will determine the travelers you'll be following in this story. The second card will describe the setting, and the third will determine the setting itself. Players will then use what the generator comes up with to create a premise for the story. In this example, a group of outlaws travels across a holy city, which can be interpreted any number of ways. Perhaps the religious order running this city has criminalized other beliefs, turning our group into unwitting outlaws in the city they call home. Or maybe our outlaws have arrived at this city with the intention of stealing a priceless artifact from the Holy Palace. Once finished, shuffle the 3 cards back into the deck. Set this deck of cards in the middle of the table so that they are accessible to all players. This is the event deck and should have 52 cards at the start of the game. Take the second deck of cards and remove all face cards from the deck. Separate the remaining cards by suit, with the cards in any order as the card values will not matter. There should be 10 cards per suit, which is split in half, with 5 cards placed face up, and the other 5 face down. The cards that are face up are the resource decks, the face down cards are their respective resources discards. These resources are used to measure your travelers' progress, health, supplies, and morale. At the start of your turn, draw a card from the event deck, which will present a scenario for your travelers to face. Immediately after drawing the card, roll the 6-sided die for the outcome, which will determine whether the group gains or loses resources as a result of the event. Let's take a look at how a turn would go. We'll look up the card and find the event associated with it. The Queen of Clubs. Someone leaves the group. Who and why? We rolled a 2, which means the travelers will lose either morale or health, as well as supplies or progress. With this outcome for this scenario in mind, it is up to the players to figure out how this shapes the story. Since this outcome is so negative for the travelers, maybe whoever left the group was important to the journey, and their absence causes the group to lose morale and progress. Players can then discuss what caused this character to leave. Did they choose to leave or were they unjustly forced out? However, if we had rolled a 6, this would push the story in an entirely different direction. With this outcome, perhaps whoever leaves is a saboteur, which is revealed after they get into a fight with someone else in the group, causing a loss of health but a gain in progress. At the end of the discussion, there should be agreement between the players on how the event transpires and what resources are gained or lost. When progress, health, supplies, and morale are lost, take the top card from that resource deck and place it face down on top of its respective discard pile. If one of these resources is gained, Take the top card of that resource's discard pile and place it face up on top of the resource deck. If any of the resource decks are completely discarded, the game ends with the traveler's journey left unfinished and their goals incomplete. If all progress cards are added to the resource deck, the travelers finish their journey with the goals achieved.